Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle. I have not posted in a while. Um, Back on March 12th, I did a post called How Do I Quilt It? And basically, I had a quilt and I had done some serpentine stitches for the quilting portion of the quilt top. I had done, I had used the walking foot on my um, sewing machine to do some serpentine stitches in the sashing portion of my quilt. And then I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of it. If I wanted to just continue, the serpentine stitches at regular intervals or what I wanted to do. And so I basically decided that I was going to free motion quilt the actual blocks instead of trying to do an all over quilting design. Now, I am pretty new to free motion quilting, so it's a bit daunting for me. It's not mindless for me at all. When I do free motion quilting, it's definitely something that I have to think about and focus on and really try to do. It is not mindless sewing for me. So, um, I decided that I was going to do free motion quilting in the blocks, and there were 30 blocks. And I decided that on March 12th when I made that video. And on that day, I free motion quilted 4 of the blocks. But then I didn't touch it again for 10 days. So for 10 days, I did not touch that quilt and it stayed on my machine. So that's one thing that I do. Since I know that free motion quilting is difficult for me and not mindless and takes more time, when I put a quilt under my machine, so when I put that free motion quilting foot on my machine, um, I basically don't sew anything else until I finish doing the free motion quilting on that quilt. Like, I don't sew anything because I know that if I take that quilt off my machine and I start doing piecing, then I'll never make it back to the quilt to finish the free motion. So I didn't touch it for 10 days. And after 10 days, I went in and I did like another 4 more blocks. And then I kind of left it again. And then I finally finished it last weekend. I think Friday, maybe. I finally finished it. I finished the free motion quilting. And then I went ahead and put my binding on. So the quilt is finally finished. So now I can get back to piecing, which is my favorite part. Um, I like picking out patterns. I like picking out fabric, but and I like piecing the blocks. And I like joining the rows. I like joining the blocks into rows. But once we start joining the rows into quilts and we're dealing with much larger pieces of fabric, that's when I start to lose interest. Like, I like the smaller things. So, um, like, once you're starting to have to deal with, an entire row of blocks and piecing rows together, and you're dealing with like large pieces of fabric, that's when I kind of, mm, that's when my level of enjoyment kind of takes off. So, um, I did finish the quilt. I'll put the picture up here. So it is finally done. And so now I can finally get back to my piecing and doing some other things and some other projects. Yes, I do have another quilt that is quilted and I just need to put the binding on it. So I'm going to do that. And I have some other quilts that need to be basted and quilted. But honestly, I'm not going to touch those right now. I'm just not. I miss piecing, and so I'm gonna go back to that. So just kind of want to give you guys an update that as to like why I have not posted anything in a bit, and kind of provide an explanation as to why and what I've been doing. Um, for most of this time, I've been doing absolutely nothing, and for the remainder of the time, slowly getting the free motion quilting done on my Wanda quilt. It did turn out super great. Like, I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. Like, I'm really pleased. So, um, that's it for that. So, I'm gonna end this video, and my next video is going to be an unboxing. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.